Hey guys, okay, this station we're going to graph cubed root functions. Alright, I just taught you in the last station to graph normal radicals. Now we're going to graph cubed roots. So here is the parent function. Notice, just coming from the last station, it looks exactly the same. You still have a cubed root, you still have an a, now you have the x minus h, he's still a liar, and you have the k. Okay, only difference is they're now cubed roots. Remember, cubed roots is what goes into this number 3 times. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is graph the parent function of this. Then we're going to be able to move it with our amplitude. Remember, amplitude is still a, and all it is we're multiplying the y values by a. Next, the third step is to translate. That is moving it left and right. Remember, h is still a liar. K, we're going to be moving it up and down. Okay, so the first thing we want to do, plot our parent function. Made it really easy for you here. Okay, I went ahead and filled in the parent function. Okay, so these are always going to be the dots that you can use if you can see this. -8, -2, -1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, and 8, 2. The reason being, remember, what's a cubed root of -8? -2. What's cubed root of -1? -1, and so forth. Okay, so these are the 5 dots that you will use no matter what, every time. Okay, so that's your parent function. So every time you do it, you'll just put these 5 dots on there. So let's look at number 3 on your paper. Okay, number 3 is y equals 2 cubed root of x minus 1 all under the radical. So here is what I have. 2 cubed root of x minus 1 under the radical. So remember, the first step says to do the parent function. You've already done that. The next step is to do the amplitude. So you're going to multiply each y value, or I'm sorry, each y value by 2. So let's start on the left. Here's -2. What's -2 times -2? -4. So I come and replace it, and I move it to -4, and I erase that dot. This one right here, -1 times 2, turns it to a -2. I erase that previous dot. 0 times 2 is 0, so it never moves here when we do the amplitude. 1 times 2 is 2, so I erase this dot and put it here. And then I come over to here. 2 times 2 is 4. I move that up, and I erase that dot. So I've done my amplitude now. Now the last thing I have to do is do my translation. Notice, -1 is under the radical. So he moves me left and right, and he is a liar. So instead of moving left 1, I'm going to move right 1. So I come over here, move right 1, erase the dot. Move right 1, erase the dot. Right 1, erase the dot. Right 1, erase the dot. Right 1, and I erase the dot. Okay? So now you can see I moved it, I translated it to the right. Now the only thing I have to do is graph it. Now we did talk about in radicals them being rays. These are not. They're a typical line. So it's going to come along here, it's going to loop up, and it's going to go through it. And there's my dots. Okay? Now, on your paper, I know it only goes 8 by 8. If this goes off your graph, one of the dots, don't worry about it. Okay? Just extend your line out there and continue on. Okay? If you got any questions, I'll be happy to help you. All right, good luck.